Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. Yang berbahagia, Profesor Dr. Zaidatun Tafsir, Dean of Graduate School, Puan Haja Kamarah Nur Muhammad Isa, Chief Librarian, UTM Library, ladies and gentlemen. We are truly fortunate today because we did not expect that we have received very overwhelming response from everyone. So thank you for your participation and thank you for coming. So today we have with us Miss Dierdre Dunne, or you can call her Miss D. Okay, she's from Elsevier and she will be our presenter today. So without further ado, may I invite Miss D to deliver her talk. Thank you.
Hello everybody, good afternoon. I'm truly honoured to be met here at UTM by such an enormous crowd. I don't think I've ever presented to so many people actually, so thank you very much for coming. It's truly an honour and a pleasure to be here, and to everybody of course in KL, hi. It's really lovely to be met with such a nice welcome. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, while everybody's still coming in, I'm a publisher in Amsterdam and I work in environmental sciences. So I manage 7 journals on environmental toxicology and environmental chemistry. I don't know if there's anybody here who's from environmental sciences? Anybody? Okay, well I've worked with Elsevier for the last 13 years in various publishing roles. I've worked in life sciences and social sciences and physical sciences. So quite a broad overview of all of the journals and all of the different publishing disciplines. And today I'll be talking a little bit about the publishing process, in addition to the peer review process, how to structure a paper, so when you start to write and start to publish, how you should go about doing that, and very importantly how you should go about finding the right journal to publish your work in. And lastly we'll finish by giving you some tips on publishing ethics and what's allowed and what's not allowed in the world of publishing. And I just want to mention before we start, if anybody has any questions, will you just wave at me please? We can try and make this as interactive as possible. Anybody who's on the webcam, please feel free to intercept at any stage. Because it's quite a long presentation, I have a lot of slides to get through. And we can have a Q&A at the end if you wish, but feel free to raise your hands and ask any questions during the course of the presentation if you like, to spark some discussion. So I've just mentioned in brief what the outline of our talk will be today. So without further ado, I'll continue with it. So you may be familiar with the publishing cycle, and this is pretty much how we play a central part in the process. So as a publisher, we facilitate a system where you submit all your papers, and we ensure that there are editors on the journals who are expertise in their field in order to manage the peer review process, to make sure that your paper gets a good review that's helpful to you, but also it's a stamp, it's a certification of validity in terms of the content. We make sure that your article is structured and prepared into a readable format and swiftly brought through the production system to be published as quick as possible. Then your article is finally published and it's disseminated, and we ensure that there's a system in place where your article can be found and will always be present and in the correct and updated format. And around all of this, there's a number of different developments that have been going on in the last couple of years with all of the electronic developments. And you'll have seen, for example, that we've moved very much from print to online, and we've been enhancing how we read the article online. So we've built an app, for example, for Science Direct, and a similar one for Scopus, to ensure that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you can access your paper or your colleagues' papers or your peers' papers. So publishing over the last 5, 6, 7 years has undergone quite a radical change in how things have been done. And, you know, some of the more established academics may remember years ago going to a conference and trying to find an editor of a journal and taking 3 copies of your paper with you, hoping that the editor there would be able to find 3 reviewers to review your paper, and you'd pop it in the mail, and every day you'd be looking at the post to see has something come back from the journal editor or the journal publisher, and it would take a long time to get published. These days it's much quicker, depending on the discipline you're in, but the average time, instead of waiting a year or 2, is really a month or 2. The format of the article and how it's read online has also changed. The accessibility to research is much better than it was. There's no more print, everything's online and it's readily available for you to find. In addition to how you find the content, we've made a lot of developments in how you use the content. And by finding one article, we help you to find related reading materials so that you don't have to spend lots of time yourself looking for all of the research articles in your area. And there's also been a lot of development in terms of data and how we support the implementation of data into the article, and the supplementary data that you might want to add to your article that's relevant for others. Some journals and some publishers now are actually asking for your data when you're submitting your article, and that hasn't really made much progress yet, but I think it will in the next coming years. I'll discuss a little bit later some of the peer review process in a little bit more detail, but touching on trends in publishing and how we have been looking at these trends over the last couple of years, I just wanted to give you some information on that. And a lot of the developments that we've made have been through collaboration with all of you. So we've been talking to our researchers and sending out surveys and hearing from our users, which are you, how you want the world of publishing to develop. And tied into that, we have, for example, a couple of years ago, we've done a few peer review grant challenges where we've opened the floor for ideas, and any good ideas that came through, they were voted upon, and we've tried to implement them. We've also been listening to how much time it takes you to submit an article and what the pain points are of our authors and our reviewers. And we developed Your Paper, Your Way a number of years ago, where we eliminated formatting and referencing requirements. So a couple of years ago you'd have a guide for authors and you would spend a long time formatting your article to